game 2 as the pick and bans get underway. Orianna taken away. ROCCAT, of course, had that in the last matchup. They don't want to allow Jesus to get his hands on it. And again, Hogmore this time banned out, focusing those AD carries SK like they did in game 1.
Yeah, and SK can just ban Tristana now as well, and have Jinx or Twitch open for Candy Panda, and then we have to see what Celebi is going to play. And this Orianna ban from ROCCAT simply shows to me that they are afraid of SK actually picking Orianna in the very first rotation, and they don't want to first pick it themselves.
So what's going to come down here? Surely a Kassadin ban you'll be feeling, or a Maokai, one of which is probably going to end up getting through here unless ROCCAT decide to ban either of those away here. And that may just be the strategy for SK Gaming, and we've seen that appearing a couple of times this week already, where teams will leave both Maokai and Kassadin up and say, take your pick, we'll have the other one.
It's actually really good for SK Gaming on red side here, because if they do leave Maokai, Kassadin, and Tristana open now, whatever ROCCAT first picks, it doesn't really matter for SK, because they're going to get 2 of the other really, really strong picks on their side. So if there's going to be first pick Kassadin from ROCCAT, well, we take Maokai, Tristana, and we are more than happy. It's actually what they're doing now. They're leaving all these very, very strong picks open, because they can get 2 of them.
And you could see the smile on Overpower's face. He's like, yeah, I'm going to get Kassadin. Oh, wait, hang on a minute. This is a dilemma. And Xaxus, he's the one that's making the pick, so he's like, screw you guys, I'm Maokai in the top lane. Let's see if we can handle Kassadin.
I actually feel like it's the right call. While the Kassadin worked out for ROCCAT yesterday and they won against Fnatic, it was also due to Celebi playing Tristana late game and being completely untouched. Like, Fnatic didn't have a comp who could actually dive him. So I like the fact they picked Maokai here, especially also because Xaxus had issues in the last game. Lulu didn't work for him. Nidalee is banned here. Clearly, he probably felt like he wants to get the strongest possible top laner for him at the moment, and now they can just trade tanks if Freddy wants to play the Mundo. Otherwise, he's going to play the Aatrox probably into the Maokai.
It's an interesting choice here, taking Morgana and Kha'Zix. So Kha'Zix obviously a big choice here for Svenska. We saw Jankos playing it pretty much exclusively yesterday as well. And Morgana, we all know how important she can be. Question now is for me, what do ROCCAT go with? I'm expecting that Tristana could come out. Will they take Kassadin though? I'm not sure about it.
Well, if they do take Kassadin and Tristana, I actually don't like them together because you're too weak in the mid game. So I would like to just see one of them come out from ROCCAT here. So if they want to go Kassadin, they pretty much have to go Corki with it as the AD carry to have some mid game power. But we have to see what they do. If they do go for the 2 late game carries in Kassadin and Tristana, they're gonna have to just really rely on outplaying SK Gaming in the mid game. Otherwise, they're gonna have so many issues.
Oh, we'll see how it works out. Don't forget Twitch is still out there as well. The rat, possibly for Candy Panda, could be a pickup to try and stealth his way around. At the moment, there's a lot of dive in there. Ari again, wide open for Jesus. He'll happily take it, and there is potentially the rat. They haven't locked him in yet, but as you talked about, this is going to leave ROCCAT a little weak early on.
Yeah, especially in the mid game, they're gonna have big issues. Ari is very good in the mid game. Twitch is very good in the mid game once he gets his blade completed. And you're also gonna see if Twitch gets locked in as the last pick, then if they do get the Aatrox now, as we expected from Freddy. Just the pick potential coming in from SK Gaming here, they can chase ROCCAT around on the map in the mid game. They can constantly look for these picks here, create the lead they need, so we're never gonna see the late game point of ROCCAT. That being said, if we do get to the late game with the Kassadin, Tristana, and Maokai, then ROCCAT are looking very strong in team fights.
What are they going to finish off with here? Then Jankos bringing in Elise will give him a little more to work with early on. Are we going to see Vanderlife once again on Thresh? We will. Thresh locked in for him, and especially in game 1 yesterday against Fnatic. Vander was absolutely amazing on Thresh.
Some very mobile targets, however, on the side of SK Gaming here. So going to be a bit harder for him to land the hooks, but if one player in Europe can do it, of course, he's the one, or one of them at least, who is a great Thresh player, Yellow Star as well. They've shown them good moves. But again, ROCCAT, we have talked about that comp. Very strong in teamfights in the late game. Gonna have some big troubles into the mid game here where SK Gaming can really look to punish him. And honestly, I don't think SK Gaming mind giving away all these strong picks. Because first of all, they get Morgana, which is at the moment one of the strongest supports, also 4 rated. We get Kha'Zix, same pick as last game for Svenska, and he's been dominating on it. Jankos has played well on Kha'Zix in the semifinal against Fnatic, so considered also one of the top junglers. And you get Ari for Jesus again, not being banned away, and the most comfortable pick in the top lane for Freddy, pretty much ever.
Yeah, strong start for them. And of course, SK yesterday, they did play in that top lane. They managed to finally get their hands on Aatrox. It was against Alistair though, didn't manage to do it against Maokai. So we'll see how it works out for Freddy this time around. It is pretty much his old tried and tested champion though. I remember distinctly back in the LCS summer where he was saying, I got a 100% win record on this, guys, just saying, don't make me lose this game. He did lose one, he has lost one on it, but this time up against Xaxus on Maokai. And Xaxus, you know, honestly for all of ROCCAT, you know, when you're 1-0 down in this best of 5 series, the one main thing you need is comfort picks.
Yeah.
And I feel every single member of that team right now is going to be happy with their selections.
I agree. Again, late game, they have an insane comp in these team fights here, but they have to get to the late game. And last game, they had a very good mid game themselves, but they lost it to SK Gaming. They didn't ward properly. They took the wrong fights. They got caught out of position and never got to do anything in mid game here. So it's going to be hard for them to survive against SK if SK plays like they did in the last game.
Well, they also have to avoid the almost typical ROCCAT thing that we've said so many times this season. You've got a late game comp. Why are you fighting over this dragon now? Don't fight over the dragon. Let them have it. Push the tower somewhere else. Take what you can, but don't end up fighting or half fighting and losing 3 men, 2 men here. They need to avoid that at all costs.
Yeah, I just wanted to say one thing that you mentioned. Obviously, SK have got a very mobile team. ROCCAT have got 5 gap closers. Everybody on that team can pile in, be it over a Dragon Pit, a Baron Pit, jumping onto SK. Candy Panda has to play so cautious. He was eating dark bindings left and right yesterday against Alliance. If he gets caught out by Vander, if he gets hooked in, everything is going to blow him up, and then SK is suddenly without one of their main carries.
But also, I mean, in the late game, SK Gaming won't be looking to just group 5 members and run straight into the face of ROCCAT, because then they're going to lose the fight.
Of course.
They're instead going to look to get some picks, especially if we do get to the late game point where Candy Panda becomes so insanely strong himself in these one-on-ones. So SK Gaming on their side, if we get to the late game point, will they look for picks? Candy Panda does have a black shield, so it's going to be slightly harder to lock him up.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
So, level 1, will we see any action here? We did see a bit of a late invade just to get those wards down last time around from ROCCAT on the red side. It looks like they were trying for something a little bit similar. Once again, sweeping length was picked up by Jankos, and they'll use that to get rid of the ramp ward there. And that's something that's caused actually Fnatic a couple of problems yesterday. We saw exactly the same here, which on one hand is a worrying sign as well. If ROCCAT are playing these level 1s at such a predictable level, the thing is that generally at level 1, unless someone makes a catastrophical positioning mistake, there's usually not going to be any action other than buff trading going on.
Well, we do see ROCCAT with the lane swap here, so they don't want to have the one-on-one against Freddy's Aatrox, and also moving Celavar and Vander up to this top side, and we'll get a red buff. And Svensson was actually starting at the red buff himself, so he's going to be delayed a little bit, running down to this red buff of ROCCAT. So slightly behind now, but should be able to get 2 buffs anyway.
Well, Freddy knows he's now in a 2v1. He purposely does not go for any CS, will sit around. Svensson instantly runs off. Freddy gets found. Celavar peekabooing, going up towards him. He's going to get the explosive shot in him. That's going to annoy Freddy. Actually just started off with a single shot. Svensson is getting that red buff now, and the rest of ROCCAT are sweeping round. So potential 4-0, or are they just going to come round in this mid lane early? Jezzas, well, he's making tracks down south. They're not going to go full force on him. They're sticking around. Jezzas being forced out of lane. ROCCAT not going to go too deep on this one. So 2v1 in both lanes, or 2v0 at the bottom lane at the moment. This gives an advantage for SK, you would feel, because again, they have that bottom half of the jungle. They could go for that dragon early on.
Yeah, so if Vander stays in the top lane, SK Gaming should be able to rush the early dragon, but because Svensson was so delayed at getting his red buff here, getting his first buff, because he was going to start a red buff here, they won't be able to do it early on. And Vander is getting level 2 now. He's at the point where he's basically staying in lane against Freddy just to zone him away. And he also knows when Freddy's in the top lane, there's no dragon being taken by SK Gaming, because they need him to be there and help Svensson and help Enrated take the dragon here. So Oh, they're actually going up to this top side. Let's see what Jankos can do.
Just going to force him away. The cocoon actually lands. They're going to go in towards it. Twisted advance gets on towards Freddy. Has to flash out. Flash was used by Zazas as well. They didn't even get the blood well of Freddy, so that was a good flash by him.
Nice flash here and a lot of early aggression from ROCCAT, using the fact they had 2 people in the jungle to get this gank here and getting a lot of damage on the tower now.
Early tower for ROCCAT, that's something that they've done consistently, but SK Gaming move directly over towards that dragon. AD Carry can come to join him. Ari could join from that mid lane as well, but for now it'll just be Svenska and Enrated doing this one alone, just juggling the aggro. But here comes Zazas and Jankos once again, going to go towards Ari. But if they walk down towards that dragon area now, SK probably have to stop this.
Well, Enrated is taking a lot of damage. He's trying to just dance around the dragon, get it to constant reset his auto attack. They're coming in here. Zazas is only level 1 though.
Dark Binding caught on one. Svenskaren's going to be the focus target. He gets the smite and no! Doesn't quite get the kill. Svenskaren gets away. Now Candy Panda sneaks on in there. Jankos going to be the focus target. They will get themselves first blood. Freddy will pick that up. Overpowered Zazas. Oh, the charm on Zazas. That will be his death and he will not get away with it. It is a dragon traded for 2 kills.
So SK Gaming took a lot of damage here while tanking the dragon. Freddy wasn't there. He was saving his teleport in case the fight would break out here. 2 members coming down from ROCCAT at first, then Overpower joins in. Zazas is only level 1. He's the guy going in. Jankos gets the steal, execute from Elise and smite, but now with the teleport from Freddy and with Vandal running from base and Salova sitting in the top lane, this fight is heavily in favor of SK Gaming, and they do pick up 2 kills here. Zazas falling behind. Let's see actually who got the kill. Jesus picked it up here. Great for him on Ari.
And Svenska covered up his fail jump quite nicely there with a last-second flash as well as he jumped into the wall. But was able to even come back around and offer a few more void spikes into that fight. So it leaves Freddy then with a 1-0-1. One of the most annoying champions I think that Freddy can get, and a lot of teams will say it, is he's just relentless on Aatrox. He'll just push and push and push overall. Yeah, you might kill him a couple of times, but he's going to be getting strong enough and he's just going to keep pushing. You've got to send someone in to deal with him.
And while SK Gaming did pick up 2 kills here, if you do look at the farm, especially in the mid lane, Opa was sitting there and just farming while Jessis ran down to the dragon. He was also ganked twice, or we can say 2 people moving in towards him. Freddy just want to try and force a flash here from Opa. Actually, he doesn't have flash. And charm. They can.
Oh.
Not really going for it. Anyway, so 2 kills for SK Gaming at the dragon, but Jankos stole it, and a lot of farm here picked up by both Overpower and Zelloa while it happened, before Overpower joined in and was part of their, at least stealing the dragon.
And they've held equal on gold, and now they're looking to push maybe a dive 4v2 on this bottom lane. We'll see how it works out. Remember, no flashes for either of these. Cocoon lands on Svenska, and that will slow things down. Freddy now also caught out. Twisted advance. Teleport comes out from Overpower. Tower hit again on Candy Panda. They're all low. That's going to be Freddy. He's caught out here. This was bad timing. They read this one like a book, and Overpower will now get a kill as well. Everything going the way of ROCCAT in terms of Overpower.
And that's also one of the very strong points about running double teleport here. Overpower from the mid lane, instant teleported down, picked up a kill, turned the gang around, and SK Gaming here giving up kills and farm to Overpower on this Kassadin. Need to be careful, because we do know what happens if Kassadin gets to late game and if he snowballs out of control.
I mean, Fnatic risked it yesterday as well, went for a similar kind of pick ban strategy where they say, okay, let Kassadin go through. How good is Overpower going to be? And he also had a lane which you were expecting him to maybe not do badly in, but not be as strong as he actually ended up being, especially because we're talking about Overpower here, the man who is very passive in that mid lane as a general rule of thumb. And I mean, if you look at it now, 1-0-0, he's actually up in CS over Jesus.
Yeah, so the lane is not horrible for him here, especially because he can start Flask and teleport on Kassadin. He has the magic shield as well from his Q, so it's actually a fine enough lane for him to sit and farm. It's more once Jesse starts picking up the Athenes, gets the GFG, then the mid-game power of the Ari is gonna be very scary to deal with, and something the rest of ROCCAT has to be careful or has to remember if they do pick a fight and Jesse might be there. Because Kassadin normally needs a bit of time to rank up. He needs his death cap, he wants to get a Rod of Ages as well, want to get a voice stuff before we really start seeing Kassadin do some burst damage. Otherwise, it's just a lot about chasing and cleaning up the fights.
Well, SK, I think they want to reset the wave here. They want to really just ram it into ROCCAT's face, which is what they're trying to force. Svenska taking himself a little peek up there at Salova. Still holding the wave well though. He turned that explosive shot off, making sure he can just farm up quietly. I don't think Svenskern's going to help too much on that one. Candy Panda down this bottom wave. He has fell behind in terms of CS, just shoved that one wave up. He should get a good wave and continue on. At the moment, in his ROCCAT with the early advantage.
SK moving down towards his bottom lane now then with N-rated as well. And we'll see how long Zaz actually sticks around. Blue buffs are starting to come in here, so I'll go over to Overpow in the mid lane. See, got himself the red as well after his kill earlier on. Jesus has now managed to get himself level with CS, but with this next wave moving towards the tower, that was pushed up very quickly by Jesus because he just wanted to simply back away, get himself that blue buff, may even end up going home after this as well to do a bit more shopping.
And Overpow is sitting on 2,800 gold at the moment. He's just looking to go back and instantly complete the Rod of Ages. Oh, Freddy, you got hooked.
The hook goes straight in. He's in trouble. No. All passive available, of course, and that was a fantastic hook there. Well worked out, actually. Jankos, of course, just repelling away. He knew he could take a couple of tower hits and get away.
They need to take this tower fast, however, and go down to this bottom lane because 3 members from SK Gaming is pushing it in, and Dragon as well spawning fairly soon. So I need to get this tower, reset the wave here so Freddy can go in and pick up all of the minions. It won't be as easy for him to just sit and freeze it and use teleport then down for Dragon. So you do see Silver just trying to get as many minions to die as possible, realize it's not going to happen, and now has to push the next wave and actually leave it for Freddy. So he's going to get a lot of farm.
SK making good use. Look at that. They've managed to set up a trap in that bush. They want someone to freely walk in.
I'm not sure that they are, at least for now though. We see that Jesus is doing a good job of pressuring that middle turret. There is Overpow. He's gonna. Oh, he put the ward in there. Rip walks away.
That was tight.
The binding missing it. Actually, Jankos going aggressive there. Jesus coming around. There's a TP coming onto the ward. Overpow dives in. Bit of damage onto Svenskern. But they back off. Dragon is now live.
Yeah, that was a bit of a weird TP from Zazas here. He wanted to join for the Dragon, so he didn't actually waste anything else but the Summoner. He was going to go there anyway, but a bit of an over-aggressive TP from Zazas. He might need it later on here.
I think Overpow, because he saw him go in and force pulse, I think they wanted to slow him so he could instantly get in there, get the twisted advance and get themselves a kill. They wanted to make a pick. It didn't work out, but they have got themselves positional advantage and they are starting off the Dragon early on here. SK, slow to react, teleport coming in. Freddy's going to join this fight. Overpow off the side, has to rip walk out. Jez is going to go full on aggression, gets the charm onto Zazas. SK jumping in towards this one. They will get the top laner down. The Dragon's still yet to fall. Who will pick that one up? It is going to be finally ROCCAT that get it. They've lost 3 members in the process. Jankos has got nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. He flashes out, but look at ROCCAT coming around the side, leaping on, getting the resets. They're going to continue chasing.
And Jankos very, very low here on this backside, but Overpow and Selva gonna be able to hold Jesus and Freddy away. Overpow going in there, actually a lot of damage onto Freddy. Selva actually gets the kill. He's gonna just rocket jump over. Tower is still there, of course, so couldn't follow behind Freddy more, and ROCCAT have gotta be happy with that.
They should be very, very happy. There was no play completed for Candy Panda yet. Jesus as well was sitting on just his Athenes. He had a lot of gold in his back pockets, and SK Gaming went for the fight here, ended up losing it. And let's just see again here. They completely ignore the fact that Silver and Overpow is in the game. First they go over Zazas, the tank. He's going to die in the back line here. Next up, Vander goes in, sacrifices himself. Silver is left completely untouched, just jumping around. Same goes for Overpow. They're both on full HP at this point. Who cares about killing Jankos now? In the back line, again, the AD carry and the mid lane are just running around, getting the kills they want, keep chasing up, pick up more kills. And Jesse for this Dragon fight here was sitting on almost 2,000 gold. Candy Panda was sitting on 1,200 gold. No blade completed, no Athenes completed for Jesse either. They were weaker in terms of items, and also they picked the wrong targets. ROCCAT takes the fight with the extremely late game combi. I would say they take the fight definitely because Kassadin and Tristana picked up the kills.
But SK got the Dragon, so you got to balance it out. It was what, 2 for 2 in kills? 2 for 3, I'm not sure, but Dragon picked up nonetheless. So even, but like you say, a 2-0-2 on a Kassadin, a 2-0-2 on a Tristana. You cannot hope for more at 13 minutes into the game. Vander might throw out that death sentence. He's going to stick around the side, doesn't get touched, doesn't go aggressive. They play it cautiously, and they hold on. 2-1 in turrets, ROCCAT with that lead. And Overpow went straight and got that Rod of Ages flat out, and a tier. It's a little late for the tier, a little late to start stacking that one out, but he's got it nonetheless. And obviously held on to a big chunk of gold. But I think the fact that he sat on that gold was just because he was basically free farming. He wasn't pressured, so he was like, why should I back away right now when I'm just not harassed at all?
And he was just waiting till he had enough gold to go back and instant buy the Rod of Ages, so he could start stacking that one as fast as possible. So he was left untouched in the mid lane. He has 2 kills now, 2 assists to his name. Even some towers gone. Things are looking pretty good for ROCCAT here in the late game comp so far.
Oh, there's a hook on towards Enrate. He's going to black shield up a little bit like there. Celiva actually taking good damage from the rat. So ROCCAT start to back away a little bit, right? So Jez is coming down there as well. Just as a note, I feel like this tier is about 10 minutes earlier today than it was yesterday for Overpower. He got that in very late yesterday to get himself up to it was basically a last-minute Xerath's Embrace that just converted as they were basically going in towards that last fight again, trying to push this turret advantage.
But just the fact you could go back and get the instant Rod of Ages is very, very important, because if you notice Xaxus, he's going to build Rod of Ages as well. So you get 2 members, a standard Rod of Ages time, went back and boarded. They had to stack it up. That means you have like 10 minutes where you're not as strong as you possibly could be for the money you just spent on your item. That's kind of gone now because the early Rod of Ages came in from Overpower and the early kills.
Candy Panda still desperately defending, just had to use the Blade of the Rune King actually in that last wave to make sure he stayed strong. Svenskeren not really in a healthy situation to join and push this one, so ROCCAT sticking around, 3-member push in this bottom lane, and every time SK try and sweep across, we saw Jesus, he'd slunk across the map, but he couldn't leave that mid open. Overpower put in pressure, and I think SK eventually are going to lose this tower. I don't think they're going to go for it, or they are going to push in. A flash, Soul Shackles from Enrated. How will it backfire? Will it work out? That sentence comes in. Enrated is going down here.
That's backfire.
It's Celiva that gets it. That's a 3-0-2. The tower now low. Overpower comes across once again. Svenskeren in trouble. The rat already down. They can just turn on towards the tower. They want to get themselves this stealthy kill. Overpower gets a double. You could not hope for more for ROCCAT right now.
And that was just such a smart play, such a smart setup here by ROCCAT, because by keeping Jankers in the bottom lane, they also forced Svenskeren to stay there to defend the tower, which meant Overpower in the mid lane could just sit and farm one-on-one and look for the chance to teleport down. Because remember, double teleport from ROCCAT here, so as soon as Svenskeren went in for the fight, instant teleport from ROCCAT, from Overpower, who's just been sitting and farming in the mid lane, turned it around as well, even got a kill before he arrived, and then he picked up a double kill. So perfect setup by ROCCAT here. Overpower, let's see if he can survive.
Gone for it, not going to get it.
Charm went in there, and Overpower did go low. Ignite use along with everything else from Jesus, and just managed to get a tower. So that's the kind of thing we're looking for here. If you are playing against this double teleport comp and Cassidy leaves the lane, you've got to punish him. You've got to take the tower. You've got to have a healthy CS lead coming out of it. Has a 10 CS lead. Got that out of the tower now. Problem is that this is kind of a fed Cassidy already at 4-0-2.
He's free farming in the lane. Picked up multiple kills. Got the first dragon as well because Jankos managed to steal it. It's just perfect for Overpower right now. Yes, okay, he lost his tower because he teleported, so now ROCCAT needs to invest in a few extra wards to spot out where Jess is actually moving around. And SK Gaming, they need to get a move on.
Well, they got 10 seconds on the dragon. SK tried to ward it out, but immediately they got swept and cleared by ROCCAT, so vision was not really gained by them despite having positional advantage. ROCCAT got themselves the blue for Overpower, and he moves on down towards there. Svenskeren, they want to try and put some punishment onto Overpower, but there's still, I just don't think they can pin him down anymore. I think they've left it too late already.
Just going to clear the pink ward here, moving into the river, feeling very confident they can actually take control. Also because Candy Panda is still sitting in the bottom lane, and Celiva is running with the rest of ROCCAT. So get down the pink wards, clear the wards from SK Gaming, and they'll force them to pretty much face check you if you actually want to contest this dragon.
Yeah, look at Overpower. He's that face check at your peril. Svenskeren does come around. He's going to be the target.
Oh, the hook pin. That would have been a kill.
And Cocoon fired off, but SK, they're moving in.
Oh, they're actually going in towards Jankos here. Have they got the down trim? Svenskeren actually going quite low. Freddy that will jump in. There's the shutdown for Jesus. Can they get Xaxus? Actually, Soul Shackles coming in. Out of Morgana. Xaxus going to be locked up. He's going to go down this time around. And just like that, it's a 3-1 for SK.
So the hook from Vandal that missed onto Svensson here was very, very important. He just dodged it, otherwise he would have died instantly. We would never had this team fight, and instead the binding from in-rated hit, it started the whole fight. Early kill coming in for SK Gaming and Overpower. Want to try and steal, well, you do have 4 kills, but not gonna steal Dragon just yet.
I think they just wanted to force anything away, maybe try and put them under punishment. Look at this though, this is where SK quickly pounce, and they're all grouped.
Yeah, all group from ROCCAT. It's all about getting their pick from the hook, but they miss it. Binding onto Yang as he goes down instantly, and now the fight starts. Jess is coming in from behind the dragon, instant killing Celebar. He thought he was safe, sitting in the dragon pit. Turns out, Jess had snuck around and picked up a killer. So now a very nice setup by SK Gaming, getting the Pixie, and they make him like they want to do, and also the dragon.
So let's have a look where that leaves us then. Almost at the 20-minute mark. And there's a 500 gold lead for ROCCAT on the blue side. Overpower slightly behind here on CS, but lots of levels you've previously seen him falling off. If you look at the top lane, it's Freddy that has the advantage there. Spirit Visage for him, and again, double AP comp, it makes it a little bit easier to itemize. And obviously the Spirit Visage, like Mundo in that last game, works nicely because of the Blood Price and Blood, which I forgot the name of yesterday, and I've just forgot it again, Officio. It's all your fault.
It's all my fault. Well, still Aatrox. We rarely do see like Warmocks on an Aatrox, so not they're as powerful against a double AP as a Dr. Mundo. But Spirit Visage early on always helps.
Bloodthirst. I should know it, Bloodthirster, you know.
It's alright, Joe, I got you back. Officio is ignoring you.
As always.
ROCCAT are defending full force in his top lane. SK were trying to move in to try and cover it off, but instead they were in there, and actually Freddy's going to have to back away from this one. He realized there was actually more members than he'd planned. Candy Panda backing down towards the bottom, going to get himself a big gigantic wave of minions, and everybody, including ROCCAT, have started to slow it down a little bit. They're going to try and push along this top lane, see if they can create a situation. They've got 4v2 at the moment. Numbers are in their favor, but SK responding. Celebar getting a couple of free hits, but in that dragon pit, it was Freddy that bounced onto Celebar. Celebar way too slow to react. Still got his flash up, still got his heal up. Didn't rocket jump out because he had no chance. He was literally bounced in the air, charmed up, taken down so quickly. Overpower though, look at this. Sneaking in, and Candy Panda fancies a bit of this. He's got himself up. Blade of the Rune King flashes across. Ratatatat is running. Overpower's going to get a hit, and he's taken down.
Yeah, Blade of the Rune King completed for Candy Panda. He's going to be so strong here in the mid-game. And he just got one of the most important picks for him, because he got the shutdown goal as well. And stops the blue buff onto Jesus. And looking at the idea for ROCCAT here, sending 4 members top lane with teleport from Overpower, was okay in the sense that if you look at the wave turn side of SK Gaming, they need Jesus and Svensson to be there. Candy Panda on Twitch won't really be able to just instant clear a wave like Jesus can do, and he was actually sitting in the mid lane. Completely backfired, Candy Panda picked up the kill and moved off to Jesus.
See that different itemization slightly here from Jankos. After they got ahead in that last game, he obviously went just straight in there and said, I'm just going to go damage here because we are doing work with this Elise. We do see that Spectral Wraith once again. Actually went Sorcerer Shoes early this time. Last time we saw him go Haunting Guys. Also got a Giant's Belt in there as well. Freddy's also picked up a Vamp Scepter now, so looking like he's going to be going Blade as his second item after that Spirit Visage.
Yeah, some big items across the board. Zhonya's Hourglass for Overpower. Static Shiv finished off by Celebar, so he's pretty much happy. Candy Panda gets himself the Ghost Blade. DFG, as you said, for Jesus. A lot of these big items are already collected by both teams, so both are in a happy position to maybe, just maybe, pick a big team fight or assassinate someone. Just saw Candy Panda, the power he's got. Won't quite work out against Overpower with that Zhonya's now on him though. But he's already proven that if I'm going to stealth around, catch somebody out, it could well be a big point of vision right now. And
it is.
At the 22-minute mark, we know these two teams, they tend to have some issues.
Yeah, it was so strange in the last game because ROCCAT is normally the team who puts a lot of focus on getting down these wards, and they had 0 on the map. SK Gaming were better at the vision control. They were not good enough, but they were better, which was enough for them to actually get the picks and get back in the game, even though they were very far behind in the early game against ROCCAT here.
Sneaky.
Let's see, Opa up in the top lane, onto Freddy.
And what's he gonna do? Does have his Bloodwell passive available, but there's a lot of damage coming his way. Should be popped here, but look at the regen that he's getting. He's not doing exactly that much damage while he's going for it though, and his passive is gonna be popped here. Zaza should be able to just twist and advance, knock him back once again, mid-air as well. And that means that Freddy is slowly but surely going down, and it's Overpower that gets his 5th kill.
And nobody from SK Gaming is reacting on the map. There was no dragon for them to take. The mid lane, they were sitting 3 members from ROCCAT to just wave cleared. And down this bottom lane, the wave was pushed actually up to their side, and Candy Panda just had to try and push it down towards this tower. Won't be able to get anything from it. So nice little setup here by ROCCAT. They can push in now. They have double teleport as well for Dragon.
SK is simply moving in, trying to go for a red buff, while they're losing the top tower. And as you mentioned, double teleport, both available for ROCCAT. So if they really need to react fast, they can. SK moving down the bottom. Candy Panda actually, that dead sentence so close to catching him. Top tower for free.
So SK Gaming, they had a lot of minions built up in the bottom lane, but because there's Static Shift on Celabar, if he's left to just walk up to these minions, he will kill them extremely fast. And SK Gaming reacted way too slow. They were sitting in the mid lane saying, okay, are we gonna go bot lane and take this wave and push it in? If they wanted to do that, they had to be there once the wave arrived at the tower. Otherwise, Celabar would just clear it instantly. If they'd been there from the start at the bottom lane, to reply, Celabar wouldn't have been able to clear it as fast, and they could have potentially got some damage on the tower.
Oh, this could be bad. Jankos actually just unknowingly to him, I think, sidestepping the binding. And, wow, SK looking for an opportunity inside of the jungle of ROCCAT, but don't manage to get it. Jesus is still stalking around as well. Will actually come in behind the rest of the team. TP will come in on one side. There is Jesus going through. He's going in for Celabar. Uses DFG. Exhaust comes down. Freddy's right in the middle of them. Celabar actually flashed away, and the damage he's doing is immense. Does get finished off by Jesus though in the end, and Freddy will also pick himself up a kill. Meanwhile, they get one on towards Overpower. Jankos does finally kill off Jesus, but it's another 3-1 for SK.
What is ROCCAT actually doing here? Look at their own jungle. It is controlled by SK Gaming. They have no wards to spot out Jess is actually coming from the flank, and yet they run into the river here. They teleport in with Kassadin as well, looking for the fight, having no idea where both Freddy and Jess is coming from. And as soon as the fight actually starts, Celabar is in the back. We're gonna see it again here. There's no vision in this bush, so Jess jumps from it. Freddy TP's in. Celabar is already out of the fight. Like, he's gone. He's gonna die next time Jess even jumps towards him. Now you lose so much damage from this already. At the same time, Overpower, he teleported in. He wanted to try and pick up a kill on Candy Panda. Beautiful binding by and raided. And Overpower had no impact in the fight. And the fact there's no wards on the side to spot out where the Ari, who, by the way, already flanked you twice now and killed you, is just very poor ward control by ROCCAT. I'm not sure what they're doing.
Mid-game dragon fights.
Well, that's another point.
Right at the start of the game that you've got to... If you've got that weak midpoint of the game and your opponent has the likes of an Ari with a DFG that's literally just going to flank around, if you don't have the vision in there, let the dragon go.
Exactly. You can take the fight if you feel like you have control around the dragon here, and you can spot out the members of SK, and you can decide when to engage and how you want a team fight. But when you have no wards, Ari can just one-shot your AD carry if she actually gets onto him. Don't run into the river and take the fight here. It's way too risky, even though they actually skipped most of the mid-game point because they got so many items and Overpower.
Force Ball says suddenly gets a hint, and I think it may well have been Svenskeren who's actually coming across the side. I'm not too sure. He's going to go back on Candy Panda. Candy Panda taking low. Rat-a-tat-tat comes out. Zolya's Hourglass used for that exact purpose. The cooldown back on Candy Panda will not be available, but Svenskeren is still there. Has he got enough? Rift walks away. No. Celabar Svenskeren will chase him down. He's got no help. He goes down again. And that's just not working out for them. SK now, 4 members. They're going to push along that bottom. ROCCAT, they're instead reacting. They're going to try and rush the mid.
Well, they have 1 member pushing the mid lane, and now Jankos and Vander can join in. Freddy's already there to try and hold the tower. 4 members in the bottom lane. Overpower, he jumped away from Candy Panda first. Didn't even give it any thought process. There could be more members from SK Gaming around him. Once again, there is no wards to spot anyone from SK Gaming. And then he just jumps in for a one-on-one in the SK Gaming's, or towards SK Gaming's tower here. It's, I mean, towards the lane, you could say. It just made no sense again. Poor warding, taking chances, taking risks, and it completely backfires. You had the perfect start for Kassadin. 4 kills, 4-0 Kassadin. Now you died 3 times in a row, you got 1 kill from it.
I've seen him pick up that Archangel staff, so trying to get that stacked as quickly as he possibly can. Blue buff is available as well, so that'll go straight on to Overpower. If we look over towards Jesus, his Ari as well will be developing more items here very soon. I'm wondering whether he's actually going to go just pure death cap, go for masses of damage there, or whether he'll try and be a little safer, go in there for that Zhonya's Hourglass. We'll find out here shortly, because he should have a decent amount of gold to actually spend. In the top lane, Freddy got himself the Cutlass, then after that actually picking himself up a Giant Bell, as is in the jungle as well. So Svenska and Freddy starting to get a little bit of tankiness to them.
Oh, Candy Panda's going in again. This time the rappel is on point. There will get out. And that is a lot burned actually for SK. They popped out. It was just Tell Life, just Spirit Rush. Candy Panda held on to the Rat-a-tat-tat, so it is still up should they need it. Moving in towards this next fight. They're going to push to the top wave. Zazas is already backing away from this one. I'm not sure he's quick enough. Svenska could have gone on, could have slowed him down, but the rest of ROCCAT all in the mid lane.
Still gonna get the mid tower here. Almost got the pick onto Yankas. Jesus tried to time his charm in the very end with the rappel coming down, because there was a lantern ready from Vander. It didn't work though, just waiting for the Spirit Rush to come back off cooldown, and they can try to do the exact same thing again. You constantly see Candy Panda and Jesse still look for these picks here. They have better wards on the map. They need to place more wards, however. They need to sell the Dawn's Blades they have now for both Freddy and Svenska. Go super aggressive on deep warding, and then they can just walk into the jungle of ROCCAT and wait for one member to move between the lanes and pick up the kills here. ROCCAT though, they want to fight, and not gonna happen.
Jump through into the Dragon Pit there. Not too much of a danger for SK Gaming. Overpower and straight back into that mid lane. They're going to try and push that one up. There's not too much left on the map in terms of turrets at this point in favor of SK Gaming. Only the inner turrets still left on their side. It's not exactly a great picture on the other side of the map though either. ROCCAT only have middle inner and top inner turrets remaining. However, they will be scaling up here. We're going to be seeing Randuin's coming in next for the top laner.
I wish you could all see the despair on Deficio's face at 30 minutes into the game.
Not a happy man.
Still seeing the biscuit on Jesus instead of actually going for wars. It's like, cheers, guys.
He even just went back to base. He just went back to base. Let's see how much gold he has. He's running. Okay, he couldn't actually afford a ward this time around, but he could sell his Dawn's Ring and then buy 2 wards. Would also work out. Same goes for the rest of his team. Because once again, you're looking for picks. You don't want to go to the real late game point. Why not just spam wards in the enemy jungle and just pick them off?
He might get hungry at some point. He needs that biscuit just to save himself. So the high mobility of these two teams is quite visible in the team fights, of course. But for me, Freddy has just been a monster. He's a damage threat. That's the problem right now. Zazas has not been able to get onto Candy Panda because he's too busy trying to control everyone else. Jesus gets free reign around the back, and then Overpower goes in amongst 5 people. We saw him doing it in Fizz all day yesterday.
Yeah.
Here we go, though. N-rated. Will he get picked off? Jankos not going to fire anything towards him. ROCCAT, again, 0 vision in that river area. No idea. They can see that. Simply going to get wave cleared out. Hook on Svenska. That's the target they want. They're going to jump in and take him out. Now, ROCCAT finally get an advantage. N-rated tried to put the black shield on. A little bit late on that, puts it on himself.
It is pretty amazing that one ward from ROCCAT is actually enough for him to secure the dragon here, because for some reason SK Gaming sent in 2 members to clear the ward here, and they stand on each other, and there's only 1 black shield instead of putting the black shield on the one guy. Would even be better if you put it on your support Morgana, who's ranged, and then he can stand under the dragon with a black shield and clear the ward while the rest of the team is waiting. It would have probably worked out. Instead, you end up actually giving a pick here because your Kha'Zix goes in without the black shield to clear the ward. He dies, dragon is gone, even though you actually had control around it.
To be fair, none of what N-rated just did there at Dragon made any sense whatsoever. So.
Only have him kill the ward with the black shield. I mean.
Well, I mean, he actually saw the hook come onto Svenska, and then he's like, just put this black shield on me and walk away, no problem, I'm still alive. Whatever, things like that can happen. And gives a kill and a dragon over to ROCCAT though. If we look down the goal, 51 to 52.7, so SK Gaming have a lead here, but can they match the late game power of ROCCAT?
Nope. And Deathcap coming up next item for Overpower, unless he wants to get a void staff first. And at the same time, you have Tristana now going towards probably the last whisper as these 4 fight teams, and once that is completed, well then Tristana becomes the real late game monster. And then it's all about, again, SK Gaming flanking around if they want to kill Celavar, and if ROCCAT actually manage to place some wards in the late game teamfights, then all of a sudden Celavar is going to be very, very hard to kill.
Still think Freddy's going to have a lot to say about these teamfights. He seems to find Celavar fairly easily. And at the moment with the Guardian Angels now on Candy Panda, I think he's looking at maybe trying to create a play. It looks like top lane is where SK want to focus, but ROCCAT, they are in and around this blue buff area. Jankos may get caught out of position here. He's in between. They're going to try and sneak around Freddy, but they don't realize that he's there. They don't realize the rat is right by. Overpower does. He jumps on him. Candy Panda the focus. Overpower in trouble. Has to Zhonya's. Can he get out? Yes, he does. The shield on in towards it, but that's ROCCAT in serious trouble. And Overpower will just get picked off once again as SK push on down the lane.
Panda actually getting charmed up here as well. He's in trouble. Is he going to be finished up? One more in from Twitch will do it. Ignite is down anyway, and Jesus will get that one. And it's a 2 for 1. Could well have been more. You can see Zazas flashing help while SK can just turn around and do Baron.
And ROCCAT is playing so over-aggressive in this game here. I'm not sure why. They even have the late game. They don't have to constantly force these picks here. They jump towards Freddy, have no idea where the rest of the members from SK are, and they keep chasing down this Aatrox with his passive, by the way. And then everyone from SK just joins in
The charm
and kill them.
a little early from Zazas there. Celavar at the side, he's getting some free shots down. Jesus is the man interfering in. There's the Baron going down. Zazas is left alone, and Celavar will back away from this one. So Baron picked up by SK. As you mentioned, ROCCAT were the ones that went aggressive. They were the ones that went looking. Jankos went in, Overpower went in, and then suddenly went, oh crap, the rat's here.
Yeah, well, they actually even saw the 3 members from SK moving into the jungle. They didn't know where Candy Panda was, and yet they jumped Freddy. Everyone overcommits, and SK Gaming just walk in from behind again, by the way, and pick up all the kills. Vandal in the very end, charm of him, then he gets a binding, and you die.
I'm sure nobody saw the failed flash from Candy.
No, nobody saw it.
Nobody saw that.
It was on purpose.
Yeah, he meant that. So, ROCCAT, again, gain themselves an advantage and then go headlong into SK while they're just setting up for a kill themselves. It's not working out, and the team fights, honestly, are all going SK's way because ROCCAT are just playing recklessly.
ROCCAT is basically saying, we don't want a standard 5 versus 5 where all members can see each other, which is where our comp is very strong. We want to give your pick comp the potential to move around us and get the picks on our squishy members in the back line. And I hate to say it again, but even on ROCCAT's side here, you're sitting on Doran's Ring, on a Maokai, into the late game. What is it going to do? Nothing at all. Sell it, get some wards. Sell your Doran's Blade on your AD carry, get some wards. Sell your Flask and your Kassadin in the late game as well.
He's not got the biscuit anymore, that's what counts. But another tower, and SK continue pushing on through. ROCCAT going to hold out for a while here. That Baron buff still running. I expect them to just rotate for the mid. Death Sentence, ROCCAT trying to pull something out, but Jesus has already cleared the wave. Everybody from SK moves on round. The next wave of minions, Overpower going deep on this one. Zhonya's pulled out. There's the Lantern. He needs to click him, but they're just going to bounce him up. And Overpower is out. Now SK, they're going to pounce on. They're going to finish him.
Yeah, they're absolutely destroying him here as well. Candy Panda with a rat-a-tat-tat running will help finish that fight off, and they get the inner turret. They should be taking an inhibitor at least with them here. I mean, there's 40 seconds on Zazas, there's 40 seconds on Overpower. Inim's down.
I have never seen someone get 4 kills early on Kassadin, one of the best champions in the late game and a snowball in the game, and then completely throw it away.
Well, tilt is something we talk about, not too often, but that is absolutely what has just happened in Overpower. What in God's name was that? Why would you go in 5 members with a Baron and hop over the wall? God only knows. SK Gaming gifted the game, wrapped up in a present from ROCCAT. It's 2-0, and SK Gaming, they're one step away from Worlds.
And both teams are just ignoring the wards completely in this game here. But because ROCCAT is doing an even worse job than SK Gaming, it actually ends up, in the end, it actually looks like SK Gaming is doing a very good job controlling the map here and finding the right picks, because they're just free to do whatever they want. No response from ROCCAT here. I'm not even sure to say. ROCCAT should have won this game here. They couldn't have wished for a better start. I mean, SK Gaming in the start of the game completely disrespected the fact there was double teleport. 2 times if you see overpower, teleport down to the bottom lane and get the kills. Like the first one where SK Gaming is diving onto ROCCAT,